when it comes to time, all of us were loaded.
I remember telling you that I was pretty overwhelmed.
How can my child leave the house at 7:30 and she's back 4:30 and I still feel the need to still work? If my time is not working for me, it's a me problem. What do you want to remember your life for? Are you doing most of the work now?
That's making me think cool. Hi guys.
Hi.
My name is Adeze. You guys should know me. If you don't know me, I don't know what you're doing here. No, please, you're welcome.
My name is Dami and it's such a great joy to be here today.
So Dami is my very organized friend.
You call me organized.
Are you not organized?
I am actually.
Super organized.
I am.
Super.
I hear that.
I want to be like her when I grow.
But this is organized too. What's that?
I'm organized.
Yes.
I don't have a lot of structure. I mean, I try. I never reach a level, man.
Okay, let's enter the conversation. All this flattery too much.
So I think I remember telling you that I was pretty overwhelmed. I used to have a lot of moments of overwhelmed. Then okay, it's going alright. Overwhelming.
Oh God.
I'm just like, what's going on? So I remember talking to Dami one time, and then she's like, you should read At Your Best, which is a book by Carey Nieuwhof. So I eventually downloaded it on Audible, and bruh,
it was good.
I have to now tell you guys, go and read At Your Best.
You should read At Your Best. It's an amazing book.
It's an amazing book. So it literally just helped me put my life in perspective and, make it work better for me. So we're just going to talk about that and, just our personal experience. It's more so how the book has impacted us and how we have applied the knowledge from that book to our lives and the results that we're seeing.
So you can also go and read it, yeah.
But if you're not a reader, feel free to take the salient points and see if you can apply it. Didn't I realize that people read a lot of books but never actually
apply a lot of them. Yeah. And I think for me, there's one thing that I feel changed the game about reading for me. I believe that the whole book is for the writer. Not all the book is for me. Like, I will pick what is for me and I will leave. And I've stopped having the urge to finish a book when I start.
Exactly.
If I cannot finish it,
oh my
God.
Do you know sometimes I'll literally just go through a book, there's a chapter that is highlighted to me, I'll go there and read it. That's what I get from that book.
Like there's no, I don't know, guy in secondary school that we have to submit reports. Nobody's telling your life. I feel like it's so freeing to know that I can actually buy a book and read one chapter. If it's okay for me, then it's okay for me. That's all.
The key thing is actually just to apply.
Apply, yes. Apply.
The one thing that jumps at you at this video, apply it to your life, and I'm sure you'll be able to see changes.
Yeah. At Your Best is book on how to prioritize your energy and your time and to make them work in your favor. The major key points in the book are, number one is that when it comes to time, all of us were loaded. We have plenty. Like, it's not the issue of somebody has money, they don't have money, somebody's Nigerian, somebody's American. No, it's just that when it comes to time, we're all civilians.
One thing that we all have
it's what we have equally. Nobody has better. In the topic of time, you're actually very rich. You have 24 hours every single day. The way the President of America has, the way Kim Kardashian has, the way anybody that you admire, they have the same amount of hours that you have in a day. If my time is not working for me, it's a me problem. It's not the world. It's not anybody else. It's me that I need to figure out. Not all hours are equal. Some hours are very good. Like, you can do amazing things in 1 hour. And then on some hours, you're like, can these hours just pass by? Because you can literally not focus. You said not all 24 hours are equal. And then there are 3 to 5 hours in a day where you are at your peak that you can do you can do great things, amazing things. It's just like that short time. You can do like very amazing things. And he said most of us have 3 to 5 of that hours daily. So identifying this your own hour, that 3 to 5 hours of your own time, is what this book is about, and making that hour work for you in terms of your energy, your priorities, and all that thing. So that's exactly what the book is about.
There were 3 major parts to that book, which is focusing your time, leveraging your energy, and realizing your priorities. So when it comes to focusing your time, like Dami said, the major thing is to realize that we all have 24 hours. Nobody has more. All of us have the same. Yeah. And then understand the fact that whatever it is that you don't get done in the time that you have, it's because you didn't want to do it, or you didn't intentionally do it.
I said the first thing to this is like changing your language.
Yes, the first thing is changing your mindset and expression language, because everybody randomly usually just says
I don't have
I
time.
don't have the time.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I couldn't do it. This and that. But when you come to the realization that you did have the time, you just didn't choose to do whatever it is in that time.
So like instead of telling people that I'm sorry I didn't have time, no, I'm sorry I didn't make the time. Because you actually have the time. You just did not make the time to do it. I think it just changes the way you think about time.
And you can actually choose what to do with your time. Of course, when it comes to focusing your time, there are a lot of distractions and things that steal your time, especially in this era of technology where your phone is constantly pinging, distraction, stealing your time every second of the day. You know, so I think that one of the things practically for me that helps me with kind of saving time, because I realized, I mean, I'm a content creator. That means that I have to be on social media, but also realizing that social media is something that literally sucks your time. I read a study one time that literally social media is designed to collect your attention. The way that social media apps are designed.
Yes. Did you watch that thing on Netflix, the documentary about social media?
No, I should watch it.
Oh, you should actually watch it.
You should.
They're like they designed it, like literally designed it to steal our attention, to make you feel like you should go and check for more.
Exactly.
It's why they have all these reminders that this person just posted.
Exactly.
This person just, sometimes out of you just see somebody just in a while, they have not posted, they posted now. Go and check.
Go and check. No,
it's really calling your attention.
Collect your attention. So one of the things that I did was just to put off notifications everywhere.
Actually, that's good. If you don't do anything after this video, you should definitely just do that. Block notifications. Yes. Yeah.
And then another thing is like during like work hours, phones are distracting. You cannot. But me, I work on my phone. I'm not lying to you. But what I try to do, because I have to work on my phone, is like sometimes I just put it on either airplane mode or do not disturb.
Yeah, do not disturb.
And that means that no call is able to come in. I don't get any notifications unless I now carry my life and go and distract
it by yourself.
Which can be a possibility. I mean, this is not you will be perfect video, but it's just
definitely
you
get distracted.
That would help you with, be more focused with your time.
And I think what you also mentioned is to write things down. So when you block out hours, like you want to work with for 3 hours, most of the time your brain will try to trick you. Like, oh, that email, because you don't want to forget. The best thing is get a paper beside you. Anything that you remember, that'll take you to your phone. And from one thing to the other, from checking your email, and then you see Instagram, and then before you know it, 1 hour is gone.
It's so annoying.
So it was like, instead of allowing your brain to distract you, just write it down. When I'm done with this session, I will do this. There's no, like, if you don't do that thing right now, you're not going to die. Don't let that, because our brain, like the dopamine that we feel from being on Instagram, is asking you to go and look for more dopamine. And so you're like, oh, that email, it's a lie. From that email, you jump somewhere else, and before you know it, your hours are vanished.
Also, like putting blocks of time to work.
Yeah,
just knowing this is what I'm going to do in these 2 hours. This is what I'm going to do in these 3 hours. Just having blocks and focusing on one thing.
Focus blocks.
In that block, focus blocks.
Yes, focus blocks.
You pick out this 1 hour. You know that from this time, this is exactly what I'm doing. Focus your mind on getting that task done. Another thing that I realized for me, I also like sometimes I have like a to-do list, and when I tick it off, I like it. Yeah, it's nice. It's
actually joyful.
So I think I'm just telling yourself, oh my god, I'm actually getting like just seeing that.
Yeah. This lady even calls it success plan. Marie Foley. So it's like at 2 p.m. the day before, have your like a success plan for the next day, so that you can plan ahead. And so when you're marking it, you already know at 2 p.m. what you're not able to do again that day. I can move it to the next day. So makes sense that way. Leverage your energy. Israel talks about 3 major zones, and that's the green zone, the yellow zone, and the red zone. So the way you explain these zones, it actually it seems like it's perfect. Green zone is those 3 to 5 hours where you're at your peak. You can do amazing work. Like you can do the work that you're like, this is good work. And then yellow zone is the zone where we have most yellow zones. Like yellow zones are longer. You can do things, but you're not at your sharpest, at your best, at your peak. And then red zone is zones where you make typos in documents because you are tired, your brain is exhausted, and you're just feeling like drained. So instead we have that in a day. So you need to recognize first, where is my green zone? where's my yellow zone, where's my red zone and all that. So I think for me, this particular one really changed the game for me, because I'm a mom. I have a 5-year-old. When I read this book, she was 4, and she closes at school around 4:30 p.m. And when she gets back from school, I still feel like I've not done what I needed to do that day. And I'm like, how can my child leave the house at 7:30 and she's back 4:30, and I still feel the need to still work when she's back? So I'm either tired or very exhausted. So when I read that book, I realized that okay, by the time she comes back from school, I'm honestly at my red zone at that time. So I'm not giving her my very best. So I felt like this is, while work is good, my child is very important, and these are like our formative years. Why am I giving her my red zone? So what I first did was to ensure that okay, we're no longer closing at 4:30, we're closing at 2 p.m. Whatever it is, when she comes at 2 p.m., she still has me at my best time. I can block out that time for her and focus on other things. Also, talked about things to do to also probably make your red zone a little yellow. Like for example, exercise. He said about his own red zone, usually go for exercise so that he can get some kind of energy back to get into his yellow zone. Yeah. So it was really like, it's really mind changing when you think about it. That just changing some things in your life can make things work. Also, around 7-8 p.m. at night for me is usually very, like, I'm literally zoned out. Like I use my brain a lot, and by 7 and 8 I'm usually very tired. So most of the time I just scroll Instagram, chat from, before I know it, 10 p.m. before I sleep. When I read that book, I said, you know what, I'm going to be sleeping in the deep of my red zone. So I moved my sleeping time back to 8 p.m. And at first, it was very hard to achieve sleeping at 8 p.m. I knew that was my red zone. I knew that at that time, the thing that I could do productively is Instagram or chat, or just, I can't really do work at 8 p.m. really. So I'm like, why can't I sleep at this time? And let's see how I can bring my early morning hours way forward. I realized that I work perfectly at early morning, like early hours of the morning, from that 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. or to 6 a.m. And because I have to like get my baby ready for school at 6 a.m. I know that okay, anything I want to do, if I can get my major work done before 6 a.m., it'll be golden.
How did you come to the realization? What were you doing by 3 a.m. for you to find that you could wear at your best?
School.
When you were in school?
So that's when I was in school. Anytime I read at midnight, trust me, it's gonna stick. Like midnight reading was, I knew in school that midnight reading was for me. I love it because it's quiet. I love quiet a lot, and something like just zing alone can bring me, like, can draw me back. So I like perfect silence, and most time you don't get perfect silence unless it's that time of the day. So I realized, oh, my best time in school were like this time. So I'm like, okay, can I wake up early in the morning? I feel like for me, it's just throwing away out of the window what you think 24 hours is supposed to be. So we grew up thinking that I should sleep at 10 p.m., wake up 6 a.m., this and this. I feel like for me, the first thing about time is throw out all of that into the bin and say, I have 24 hours a day. What do I want to use the 24 hours for? If you control your time, like I do particularly, you can say, I want to sleep at this time, I want to do this, I want to work at this time. So for me, it was like, okay, I know that my best hours are early hours in the morning, like 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. or like that. And I'm like, okay, how can I make sure that I'm awake at this time? How many hours of sleep do I need to have to be productive? That's 7 hours. So when do I need to sleep? And then it falls back. It fell around 9 p.m. I'm like, if I want to sleep by 9 p.m., I should be on my bed by 8 p.m. So it was just like you count it backward. Okay, 7 hours of sleep, and then 9. Okay, by 8 I'll be on my bed. That means I have to get my child to sleep at 7. If she comes back from school at 2 p.m., it's feasible for her to be asleep by 7. So I was like, you know what? We're not doing extra lessons again. My child is closing. We're like, why? I'm like, no, we're not doing 2 p.m. We're closing. So I just usually and it's been almost a year of doing that. Honestly, my child is like, she enjoys our time together because I have time for her. I'm not usually at my red zone when she comes back from school. I can focus on having fun with her, asking her about school, also reading for her, and all of those things that you do as a mom of a 5-year-old. So it's just really amazing when you think about your time like that.
Yeah, like my own green zones are early. Definitely not as early as that. If you wake me by 3 a.m., I'll slap you. I'll actually slap you.
I know, right?
Well, I mean, like for me, from anytime from like 5 and 6 to like 12, even 12 is a bit too far. Let me push it. Even if I realize I can still, I can still do work at 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
But like early. That from 6 a.m. to 10, that's when things are sharp.
Yeah.
So I mean, there was a time, I remember telling Dami that time that I don't know what's going on with my sleep cycle. Please just tell you, sometimes curveball can really enter your life. This does not mean that this is a perfect plan.
It's not though, and it wasn't like I slept 8 p.m. every day this year. No, definitely not. But I just think that it was my best case scenario.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, I try to also wake up like early, like 5, and at least from 7 to 10, I try to get my best work done, or whatever is most important to me at that time. Get it done early and know that the rest of the day at least we shall still get things done, but at least I've done what is most important to me. So I think that's the general concept of green zone, red zone, and yellow zone. You have to actually just pay attention to yourself, think about your patterns, think about, oh my god, when am I really energetic, when is my brain sharp? You just have to pay attention to what is going on in your life. Maybe give yourself a week, and every day try to
just
write
track
out how is it going.
How do I feel right now?
How do I feel in the morning? How do I feel in the afternoon? How do I feel? That will give you knowledge about what works for you at least, and then you can try to apply that, knowing when it's best for you to do your best work and get the best results, right? Okay, so
realize your priorities.
Yes, this is the part of the book that I love the most. Not, I mean, the green zone, red zone was eye-opening, but it's
it was really good.
You know that thing? Somebody he actually gives this example in the book, but I give my own example instead. You know when somebody calls you and you're on the phone, and the person is just talking. At first, you're enjoying the conversation, it's flowing, but like next thing, the person is telling you plenty gist, and you're like, bro, I have things I need to get to doing. Right? You can't relate, but there are things I need to be doing right now, but this person is really pouring out. Maybe they are pouring out their heart. Maybe they are even talking rubbish. And it's just like, okay, how do I get off this phone? Like, this is literally me in my head. I need to get off this call. How do I end the call? And before you know it, 1 hour don't pass. Call that was supposed to be 5 minutes, 10 minutes. 1 hour is gone. 2 hours is gone. Or even another example for me was like, I run a business, and sometimes, I mean, there are more important things for me to do, but sometimes the clients will message you and be like, oh, can I get this, this, and this? And then you might feel the need to just stop what you're doing and answer
immediately.
My dear, 3 major things that can distract you from or hijack your priorities, basically. Which would include people can hijack your priorities, and things that you did not plan for, things that are not on your plan will hijack your time. I can't remember the third one, but you get the vibe.
So for me, I think when I want to do calls, some people are like that actually. Like when you call them, that they drag your time and hours. So what I usually do is to like put meetings back to back. Like there's no wiggle room. So if I don't leave this room, I cannot enter the next room. It works for me because I have a lot of meetings with clients. I just schedule 20. Okay, let's do 2. I've given somebody else 2:20. I know that either you like it or not, we have to get off this call at 2:20. So because I already have another, sometimes if I have a meeting at 3 p.m, I may put your call at 2:50, or I'll pick my phone and call you at 2:50. I won't tell you that I want to call you, but like, let me call this person now. So I know that I need to get off that. Your hours is your hours. It's just like you have to know that time is money. Anytime you think that you don't have money, you know that you can basically like leverage and turn your time into money. If you think about money, your time in terms of money, you spend it more wisely.
Exactly.
Because you're like, this is literally my dollars. Like, if you're spending it, how am I going to get it back? Yeah. So I feel it works that way. So you mentioned 3 things that we should do in our green zone. Giftings, passion,
your passion, and then impact.
Yes.
Gifting, passion, and impact.
Impact. Yes.
So in your green zone, you want to work on what you're gifted at.
Yeah.
Right, and improve your gifting. He was saying that people that are gifted at things, we tend to neglect our gifts. Like
we tend not to like improve on the skills intentionally, because you can talk. As in, during time they call you for a talk, you just go without preparing because you know that okay, I can always talk. So it feels like if you keep doing that, at some point your gift will still be your gift
stays. But it stays at the same level. When you can actually get better.
Yeah. Give example of athletes where they are good, they can play basketball, but they need hours. Every day they train. Consistently. So like the genius zone where you want to be in your field, it's about using that your skill every single day, earning the skills intentionally trying to like, okay, what can I read? How can I get better in this field? What field am I? Maybe 30 minutes a day to read about your field and where you are there and how you can change your maybe you want to move to this place. Like sometimes we're in a field that we don't even know much about that because we are busy working in that field that we're not reading about the field. Yeah, passion. I think passion, things that you're passionate about, like should do more. And then for impact is things that has the greatest impact on your business,
your life,
on your business.
And please, this book is not just about getting work done, because
It's
it's
about
very
fun.
much well-rounded.
Yes,
like doing your best at both work, at both life. That's why this priority part I really liked it a lot, because that's what he mentioned. It's really not just about work. Like you can prioritize. Like the way she talked about her daughter.
Yeah.
Giving her daughter those green zone hours where she was still at her best. When it's like late in the night, when I'm no longer present and I'm trying to have a conversation with my husband, I'm probably more irritable a lot of times. Maybe not even me, I think his own is even worse. He's more irritable when you're trying to have a conversation. He's not going anywhere there. The time to rest don't reach. Don't be trying to converse. So that's another thing about those priorities. It's not just work that you prioritize. Relationships, prioritize life, having fun, things like that. And there was something that he said that I really love, which is, I don't know, that's my own dream for my life, is to have a life I don't have to take a vacation from.
That line.
Yes. It's a life that I'm not looking forward to, because a lot of times you hear people say,
I can't wait for this.
I can't wait for the weekend. I can't wait for this. But in real life, like, just enjoy every day.
It literally stopped that language of I can't wait for this for me this year. I'm like, what? I'm going to enjoy it as it is right now. There's never going to be a season where you're not busy, where there's nothing to do. You always have, because this adulting life, you always have things to do.
Always.
So you have to figure out time to like have a balanced life where you're not looking forward to taking a vacation, or I just need to finish this week.
This one, and
I just need to finish this one.
Yeah. That will be happening every week.
So create time where you have balance, you have space. Like you talk about space.
Oh my God, margin.
So they explained margin so well. Juliet Font, she explained it as white space. She was like, if you're trying to make a fire, if you don't put space, like there has to be space in between the firewood for the fire to light. The concept of thinking your best ideas in the bedroom is because there's space in your head in the bedroom. There's nothing special about all those magical ideas that we have in the bedroom. Like, bedrooms are my like green zone, amazing times. I know the only reason you're doing that is because you're just focusing on having your brain. There's nothing in your brain. So at that point, your brain is giving you ideas. If you think that maybe you're at the point where you're no longer having like ideas that you need in your business, it's because there's no space in your life. That when there's space in your life, ideas will come.
That's
because
so true.
You can't light a fire without space. Like if you want to light a fire and you're trying to, and there's no space,
jump pack, it won't light.
It won't light. You need space for it to light. So our best work happens when we can always, like, at any point we take matches near to the work in our life. We can ignite it with ideas.
Wisdom.
I actually like Juliet Font, and she has a book as well. White Space.
Wisdom. Are you hear me? People should tell that beg us to come back and give me more wisdom.
Oh, she has a book, A Minute to Think. It's not White Space, A Minute to Think. That's the title of her book, Juliet Font. Yeah, and that's actually like a really good book.
We are human beings. Life is going to happen, and there will be times where you do not have a green zone.
Yes. He said, when he started talking about this green zone and yellow zone thing, someone asked him and said he has a sick child that is sick, and it's not. It was like, it's okay to know that in this season you don't have a green zone. Like at some season in your life you literally not have a green zone. But like this, in February this year, there was this nationwide grid drama where there was no light, there was no fuel, you cannot even get anything. I didn't have a green zone, literally. And I just read at your best in December. I'm like, my green zone is gone. So I felt like because he balanced that book in February, I could feel like, I get what Carey is saying here. He's saying that at this time in my life, there's no green zone. So I need to ask myself, what can I do in this yellow zone? I can't wake up early because there's heat. I can't I can't even do any work when there's heat. There's no light. I can't buy all of those things. So it's a balanced book. Like you don't read the book and feel like I need to do everything right now. You have something to break down and start to do like something very small to start doing right now. And it also tells you that you should calm down, don't try to do everything together at the same time. The major point is, at the end of your life, what do you want to look back on? The example that I gave at the last chapter, where he went out with his kids.
Yes.
And like look back, like imagine you're 50. What do you want to remember your life for? Are you doing most of the work now? That's a big question. And that's the question that got me to think of my child. Like, I'm not spending time with this child. This is a formative years. This work that I'm doing now, I will forget them in years. But my child will have been grown with the idea that mommy does not have time for her. So it just really changed the game for me. Yeah.
That's making me think cool.
Why was what's making you think?
No, I'm thinking about like what are the things? Am I doing what I'm supposed to? Am I? Do you think
I think you are actually.
I don't get child, so like that one day first.
Give us.
Let me please focus.
I think you're doing great work. I think you're in an industry where it's relatively new. You're figuring things out. You remember this season for what you're trying to do. In a season in an industry where you don't literally have like a map. You're literally figuring out the map by yourself. Yeah. So I think that's what you're doing most in this season. I think that's what you're doing most in this season. Yeah, you're doing good work.
So, friends, I think that's a good summary of At Your Best. But
yeah, it is.
It's impacted both our lives by just applying
the things Carey said.
For me, I think the two major things I applied was finding my green zone and trying to do my best work within that time. Every day I have a to-do list, but I have things that I must get done. Must do's of the day. And
it should not be more than 3 things actually.
Exactly, because you will overwhelm yourself. That's another thing I realized. Sometimes, I don't know whether I used to think that we are superwoman no more. I used to overestimate my
time fallacy.
Yes.
They call it time fallacy.
I think that.
Or planning fallacy.
I can do this amount of things in this time. Cool.
I like that sound. I think it's a general rule of life. Actually,
I think it happens because it still happens to me today.
It happens every time. I think it's also why, as good planners, we always ask ourselves questions. So the thing that I learned from one of my mentors is, if you're planning your month, at the end of the month, always ask yourself, what was your planning fallacy? Like, what did you think you'll be able to do
that you didn't get done?
Why? I feel like if you start asking yourself such questions, you would actually begin
get
to
a better sense of your
and then the fallacy will start shrinking. It won't be like sometimes we can like, I want to read 10 books this month.
Who are you? It's so that's for like writing stuff down.
It's so good.
It's so good.
You need to write things down.
Review. If it's just in your head, you're never going to be able to review what is not out there.
Yes.
Let me know in the comments what it is that you got. Like one thing that you're going to go ahead and apply now.
Yes, now.
That you're going to start doing
Commit
just
in the comment section. Commit
to one thing that you're going to do. Let me know in the comments. I'm here to cheer you guys on. Because we must get this life working at our best. We must do our best and live our best life.
And live a life that we don't want to run away from.
Exactly. Like every day is a vacation.
Yes, you're having fun. Ish.
Thank you, Dami, for coming on my channel. Do you guys want to see her again? Say yes. I'm saying yes. I'm voting yes. We'll talk about something else. I don't know. Thank you for being on the channel. We had a good time.
Thank you for having me.
See you guys in the next video.
Bye.